Actions and reactions. Okay. To do any kinds of work, action, very good. Action, duties, what work we do, that's karma. Okay. Yes, very good. Good answers. Very nice. So let me share the PPTs so that you can get a clear vision of what. One second. Okay. This is the third chapter, which is Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga, I don't know, it stopped sharing. Oh, okay. Where Krishna further tells, actually Arjuna, after listening to the second chapter where Krishna describes about what all Krishna gives answer in the second chapter, for what, which answer he gives. You can write in the chat box or you can raise your hand. For compassion, what does Krishna give an answer? I'll unmute everyone. You tell. What does Krishna give the answer for compassion?
Mataji, for compassion, Krishna gave the answer that you are not the body, you are just the soul.
Then next one, sin. For sin, what does he tell? What happens in the sin part? Anybody? First, Arjuna tells sin will occur, right? What will Krishna tell in second chapter? What answer does he give?
Ma'am, Mataji said that, Lord Krishna gave the answer that anything that is done towards the devotion of Lord, that is not considered as sin or.
Yeah, according to.
Whatever is correct, that if
Yeah.
we do, then we don't get sin.
Where is that correct things written? Who told us what is correct, what is wrong?
Bhagwan.
Krishna. Like, for example, in this country, there are you drive in the road, okay, and you know what is correct way and wrong way of driving in this country, right? In America it's left hand side, here it's right. So you know which side what is correct, which in India what way we have to go in the road. So there are some certain rules and regulations set, and if we break those rules and regulations, that means we are doing incorrect. If you're doing correct, that means you're following rules and regulation. If we are not following rules and regulation according to what Indian government has given us, then we are doing incorrect action. And what makes that incorrect or correct thing? That's in the court. That's called law book, right? There is a law book. In law book, there has been written, if you do these things, that those are prohibited, then you are put inside the jail. If you do these things, you are being rewarded by the government, right? There is a law book in which everything about the Indian citizens, Indian government, everything is written in a law book, right? That's why some dispute happen, we go to the court, because court gives us judgment, what is correct, what is wrong. In the same way, we live in this world, in this material world, and who is the creator of this world? That's Krishna. So Krishna gave us the law book. That is what Bhagavad Gita is. He's saying in this Bhagavad Gita what is correct, what is wrong. Like you purchase a new fridge or a new washing machine, there will be a manual, right? What is this manual given for? Why do we purchase a manual? Why do they give a manual with any machine? Yes, Yashomati.
To let us know that how to use that machine.
How to use that machine, correct. So, and how to use, if something spoils, or how to correct that machine, right? That's why the manual is given to us. Even for this body, even for ourselves, our lifestyle, what is correct, what is wrong, and how to use our life, utilize our life in a correct way, that's given in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the life manual. It's not just the art of living, it's the life manual. Because only human beings can understand this, not anybody else. Only a human being has that chance to understand Bhagavad Gita, right? And it's specially given to all the human beings because they have more responsibility than animals, right? Human beings have more responsibility. Why do we give more privilege to a higher position person? Because he has more responsibilities. So comparing to other creatures, human beings are got more responsibility, and Krishna has also given us many work, many responsibilities. And how to do that, that's given in Bhagavad Gita. That's life manual for us. You should always keep this in note. So here, karma of karma yoga. And what are the other things that Krishna gave in previous chapter for no enjoyment? What did Krishna tell? What did Krishna tell when Arjuna told no enjoyment? Yes.
Either you will win or you will get heaven.
If you die, you will get heaven, and if you win,
Kingdom.
you will get kingdom. And what about the family tradition? What about the family tradition? What happens? What does Krishna tell to Arjuna when he told about family tradition will get destroyed? Yes. Correct, Harshita Mataji. And yeah, many of them have given already. Role model. You yourself become a role model than making others, praying for others. You yourself become a role model for next generation. Fight for dharma. No, if Duryodhana was there, if you feel pity to him and Duryodhana would live, he would destroy your next generation. Rather, you become a nice citizen of this country and you yourself become a nice role model, right? And what about the indecision? What Krishna tells about indecision? As determined towards the Lord. Yes, determination. Very good. Yes. Yashomati, you want to answer?
It is to serve the Lord with being determined and focused.
Being focused, he tells, don't be bahushaka, rather ekeha kurunandana, become in one. You have to know one way, that is determination towards the Lord. And here he tells about these things. Now, when he told about the soul, and later he told about the devotional service, and you should be always towards devotional service, in Karma Yoga, Arjuna starts asking questions now. So yesterday's class was summary. Now the real chapter will start coming. Now Arjuna is going to ask intelligent questions that nobody of us have ever got, I guess. And even if we get, it's actually Arjuna who is asking on behalf of us. Not that he is in delusion, we are in delusion. So Arjuna is asking on behalf of us. So Arjuna's confusion and renunciation or action. There are 5 parts in this chapter, so we'll divide it. So first is renunciation or action, because soul has no work. So in second chapter, Krishna tells, soul has no other work. So should I renounce my work? Or next step, he tells you should do devotional service. So he got confused. Should I act or not act? Then he tells about Nishkama Karma Yoga and what is Jnana Yoga and what is Nishkama Karma Yoga and how Jnana Yoga is better than Nishkama Karma Yoga. Let's understand. And what is Karma Kanda? What is Karma Yoga? Let's understand that. And how can we develop to Karma Yoga? And what is the Nishkama Karma Yoga? How a right example is given there. And to achieve this, there is someone, a biggest enemy of us to achieve Nishkama Karma Yoga. Let's understand how to conquer that enemy. Let's also understand that part also. Okay. Anybody knows this shloka? It's very famous shloka. Very famous. The first 2 lines are very famous. Everywhere you can see the quotations. Everywhere you go. Anybody can chant? You can unmute and chant. You can raise your hands. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भुर्मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्व अकर्मणि. Yes, you can all stand behind me. You are allowed to unmute yourselves. Karmanevadhikaraste
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते
ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur ma te sangosva akarmani. Yes. Thank you. Yes. So this, anybody knows the meaning of this? You can unmute and tell. You can raise your hands. Yes. Yashomati, you lowered your hand maybe. Yes.
Mataji, this sloka explains that you do your karma and don't worry about the results. The result be given to you according to your karma by the Lord.
And what is the next part? Many of them they know about the first 2 lines. What is this? Ma karma phale hetu mato sangasva akarmani. What does this mean? Anybody knows? Akarmani. What does this mean? What is the last line here? You can read this.
Never consider yourself the cause of results of your activities and never be attached to not doing your duty.
Yes, thank you. That means akarmani. Now, many of them, they know this much. A very famous shloka. Many people use this. Karmanevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. That means you do your duty, but don't be attached to the fruits of action. Now, how not to become attached to fruits of action and do your duty? It's not possible. You want some results, that's why you're doing something. But then you should not be attached to the result. That's the meaning. You should not be attached. You should know what should be the result of your activity. You're constructing something, and you have to have an image in your head that what you're going to construct, in what the full-fledged image should be there in your mind before the work starts, no? But then you should not be attached to that. Some people have that, no? They are so attached to the result that they forget about their duty. Like, for example, there are some people who will just study. Okay, for example, there are 2 people. One person A, Mr. A, he reads, okay, he studies for his exams more than knowing about his marks. He wants 90+%. He knows that, and he concentrates more on his duty, that is to study. And there is Mr. B who wants plus 90+%, but he is more on his results. He's always thinking about result more than his studies. So now, what do you think among Mr. A and Mr. B, who will get the best results? One who is constantly focusing on his duty, although he knows he has to take more than 90%, or Mr. B, who is fully concentrated on more than 90%, but he is not concentrating on his studies, or he's not able to do the studies because he's tensed about his results. Yeah, Mr. A, right? He is going to win because he is concentrating on the duty, although he knows he wants plus 90%, but he's not attached to that 90%. Even though some less marks are there, but he's not bothered about it because he's satisfied about his duty. What has been done, he's satisfied with that. Yes, Mr. A. But most of the people, they misunderstand this and they think even the work should be given up. You should not know about your results, and you should not do the activity. You should go on doing the activity. Don't think about the result. That's not possible. You should know what the result should be. But here it is said, never consider yourself as the cause of the results of your activity. Once you think that because of me this has come, because of me only this can be possible, then there is a question mark of your activity, because you lose the track there. And never be attached to not doing your duty. So you should do your duty, but results should be given to Krishna, because you write the exam according to whatever you know, and you give it to the teacher. Let teacher correct. It's in their hand, not your hand. That's the detachment we should have in our daily work also. I want this much of results. Okay, I want this much result. If it happens, it's God's grace. If it does not happen, still it's God's grace. Because somewhere I have done mistake. I can learn my mistake and do that again next time, very good. That's how the detachment should be. Not that I don't want result. I don't think about results also. Not like that. You should know, but then you should not be attached to the results. For example, what happens? There was a person who had a big field, okay, who had a big field, and he got a mango, okay. Then he ate that mango. There is a mango seed, no, huge, big mango seed. He thought of putting in his field, very fertile field he had, and he put it. And slowly by slowly, he started watering it, and the buds started growing, and it became a plant. And after so many 20 years, 20-25 years, it became a huge tree, and it started giving lots of fruits. And one day, after the first harvesting, he was taking all the fruits in the basket, and he was about to go. Krishna came there. Krishna came and he said, "This is my fruits." And that person was like, "Huh? Your fruits, sir? I took 25 years of patience and then I got this fruit. It's my fruit." Then Krishna was like, "Okay, why are you telling that it's your fruit?" Then that man said, "Because I have done very hard work, I have done so much of work. I day and night I was protecting that plant, and it became a tree. I watered it, and it grew so well, and it's giving me nice fruits, tasty fruits. So it's my what you tell, uh, mera parishram, my work. So it's mine now." So Krishna tells, yours? What is yours? Okay, you gave that water, you said you gave water, nice soil, nice fertilizers. Okay, fine. From where did that water come? He told, I took it from the nearby river. Okay. And from where that nearby river came, from where that water source came? From a lake, nearby another lake is there. From there it's coming. Okay, fine. Okay, even that, that's my property, he tells. Okay, your property, fine. What about this field? How did this field get fertilized? Because of nice nature of this land and everything. Okay, fine. All this, okay, you leave this everything, but from where did you started giving this idea of growing a plant? Because you saw a seed. And who made that seed? He can't tell that he made a seed. He tells, Krishna created. Actually, you created it, Krishna. Yes, I created, so all the mangoes belongs to me, and Krishna takes away. But then here we should know that whatever we are doing activities, the energy to do that activity, the intelligence to do that activity, the power to do that activity is given by Krishna. That is not ours, that is Krishna's. So whatever, then that man gives everything to Krishna, like everything, whatever he had. And Krishna, he's so merciful. He tells, see, this is just to teach you a lesson. I'm not hungry. Okay, you take this. He accepts and gives it back. He eats one of the mangoes, and it becomes more sweeter, and gives it to that person. And that person becomes a devotee. So here, in the same way, we are doing our daily activities. All of you are mostly below 25. Most of you are going to colleges. You're going to college, you have, to solve any kind of sums and everything. You want intelligence, and that intelligence, that skill is given by Krishna. So after a certain age, when you go out for a job and everything, we might tend to get, pride. We have seen such people, they get pride easily, but then they forget to understand that whatever they had got, you know so-called certificates, to get that certificates, we need intelligence, and to get that intelligence, it was given by Krishna. We forget the main cause. We go on, building our ladder, but then we don't know where it ends. but the root was Krishna. We forgot that. So that's the thing. Yeah, many of them, they tell hard work, but then Krishna is behind that hard work, because to make that work also we need energy, and that is given by Krishna. That cannot be given by any other. We put food inside the mouth, and it goes to stomach by food pipe. After that, the digestion is not done by us. It's automatically done by this system. And who made that system? That's done by Krishna. In such an intelligent way, Krishna made our system that we need not do any hard work to, make our food digest. It happens automatically. That automatic happening is by Krishna. He made it automatic. Okay. So here, yeah, he says the sunlight, right? Photosynthesis. The sun is from Krishna. Moon is also Krishna. He did not do moon. He did not do sun. He did not bring rain. So who is the main cause of everything? That's Krishna. We should not forget that. Okay. So yes. So Arjuna, what is he saying now? Jayasi chet karmanaste matha buddhir Janardana tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi Keshava. O Janardana, O Keshava, why do you want me to engage in this ghastly warfare? If you think that intelligence is better than fruitive activities or fruitive work. Now, Arjuna is asking a very intelligent question. Krishna tells in second chapter that we are souls, and we are Nainam Chindanti Shastrani, Nainam Dahati Pavaka, and all of this. We are not affected by anything. Then why are you making me to do this war? Why are you doing me? Why are you making me this? Rather than if I leave everything and go, that's better, no? He's asking. What is the difference between the Karma Yoga and Karma Sannyasa? That was his question. Somewhere he tells, do your activity according to the religious principle which was given by the Lord, and somewhere he's telling the soul has no activity. Now this is the contradiction, but then Krishna knows there is no contradiction in Krishna's words. Everything is related to each other. Then what does he tells? You have the right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. You should do your work. Is there any person who tells, I don't want to do any work, or he does not do any work? Everything, even sleeping is kind of activity itself for the body, right? Even if you are not trying to do any activity, the body itself, inside your system, so many things are happening. Activities are going on. Activities cannot be stopped. Activities cannot be stopped. And if you forcibly stop your activities, then you will go mad. Because so many people stay in the forest without any persons around. They cannot stay for a long time. If your mind is not controlled by you, you will go mad. You have seen those mad dogs running here and there. In the same way, our mind makes us go crazy, because we want association. Okay, so here Krishna says you have the right to do your duty, because you have to do your prescribed duty, but then you should be attached to the fruitive actions. Never consider yourselves the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to the duties. So here, actually, I think so the translation is a bit different here. Actually, I'll read out it better. The translation has been changed. Okay, so here, Vyamishreneva Vyakhena. So that is 3.2. Okay, so you can all, if you have a book with you, you can all see that Krishna is saying, my intelligence is bewildered by your Arjuna is telling actually this sentence. Actually, the translation is different here. Sorry for that. Therefore, please tell me decisively what is the most beneficial for me. So here, tad ekam. Okay, this word is very, very important. Tad ekam. Now, Arjuna is saying, tad ekam. Ekam vada. Now, ekam vada means, now he had got a confusion between two things. Arjuna had got confusion between two things after listening to the second chapter. That's why he tells in the second shloka of the third chapter, tell me one thing, Krishna, only one thing, which I should be doing. What is it? In the second chapter, he tells about the soul. As I said, soul has no activities because it is transcendental. Whatever material activities are doing, it is done by our material body. The soul is not detached from everything. But somewhere he is in the second chapter itself, when the sin part comes, he tells you should do devotional service. You should do activity in devotional service. Now Arjuna got confused. How is it possible that one way Krishna says you be detached, and another way he tells you should act? Normally when we act, we become attached to that work. We have experience. But now Krishna is telling how to do activity in your detached way. So that's what is explained. So nahi kaschit kshanam api jatu tishtati akarmakrit. Again and again in the third chapter, akarma is used. So let's understand what does this akarma mean. Akarma does not mean no activity. It's not that akarma means you are not doing any activity. Akarma means you are doing activity, but you're not attached to the activity. Whatever phala, whatever, every activity has the reaction, right? Action has its equal and opposite reactions. Isaac Newton tells, no? It has a equal and opposite reactions. It's true. In our whole daily life, whatever activities we are doing has one result for that. But then, devotee, whatever activity he's doing, his reactions are taken away by Krishna, because Krishna does not want any reactions on him. Because if we are bound because of the reactions of our actions. We are bound. Actually, we are bound. One activity we do, and that activity has a reaction. When we see that reactions, we have to act towards that reaction. We should respond towards that reaction. And when we do reciprocation to that reaction, another reaction creates. There is a chain of karma. That's the karma chain. Okay. So when Krishna wants to break this chain, so what he does, to devotees, he removes all the reactions. At that moment, what happens? Whatever you are doing is directly towards Krishna. That's devotional service. Okay. So here Krishna says, all men are forced to act. So I said, our body is never made to sit with no activity. We should act. Our body itself is acting. So many things are going inside our body, known or unknown for us. We are working. Day and night we are working. Therefore, Krishna says no one should refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. Not even for a moment. We can't sit quietly in one place. We can't. Even if we sit quietly, our mind starts speaking to us. You might have experienced, I want to sit quietly, and then your mind starts popping up one things. So that's how our body is made in this material world. It is made in such a way that we are made to act. So, but rather than, what happens in so-called sannyasis of this material world, they try to act that they are not doing any activities, but it's not possible. Real sannyasi is the one who devotes his life to Krishna. That means he acts towards Krishna, to preach about Krishna, to tell about Krishna to others. He is a real sannyasi. The so-called sannyasis who don't act in this world, Krishna says, what he says, mityacharasa uchyate karmendriyani samyamya ya aste manasa smaran indriyan vimudhatman mityacharasa uchyate. Krishna says what? One who refrains the sense of actions, but whose mind dwells in the sense of objects. As I said, we might sit quietly in one place, but our mind is never quiet. Our mind goes reeling one place to another. You can see this picture. What is he doing? He is in the dress of a sadhu, but he's smoking a cigarette. Why? Because his mind is uncontrollable when he sees the cigarette. He wants, and he's speaking with a phone, with all these things. So his mind is deluded, and for such a person, Krishna calls pretender. And even for Arjuna tells in the second chapter, I want to run away from this, I want to run to forest, I don't want to work. But he is a Kshatriya. Kshatriya's work is to fight, Kshatriya's work is to fight and save people. But then if he is not doing this and he runs away, for sense enjoyment, then what happens? Then even in forest, if Arjuna goes to forest also, even in forest, he'll start hunting. Why? Kshatriya's blood is in such a way that he has to fight. From childhood, he's trained to fight against people, fight against enemies who are causing trouble to the societies. For such a people, they are trained. Kshatriyas in olden days, they were trained to protect people by weapons. But then if Arjuna was not doing in war field, then even if he goes to the forest, he would done the same thing. He would have gone to the forest and fight there also. So that's the difference. Two members raised their hand. I missed them. You can keep your questions in the end so that it will be not a interruption between the class. Okay. Yeah. So here, so this is a thing. We might have seen such people, no, who act like a big sannyasis, but they are not actually Mithya Charis, the dongis or the what you tell, the Babajis, so-called Babajis, not the real ones, not the ancient people, but then what Kali Yuga new people, they act some different. They don't follow the scriptures and all of that. So such people Krishna calls as Mithya Charis. So Prabhupada, he tells, Prabhupada in the purport tells, even a person who is sweeping the road, we tell chadu lagana, the such a person is also sincere because he is doing his activity. His duty is to clean the road. He is at least doing that activity sincerely. But a mithyachari, what he does, his activity is not that, but he wants to act like that, imitate a person like that. That's very dangerous. No knowledge is also good. Full of knowledge is also good, but half knowledge is very dangerous. You can create havoc in the city, in the whole city. So such a persons are called mityacharis. Even if you're going to a job, you may feel that, yeah, my job is very tiring. See my friend, he is enjoying his job, and we try to become like them. Although we are not meant to become like them, we try to. And ultimately, what happens? We end up frustrated. Rather, whatever we are really in this life, whatever we are, original, we should show that first, not pretend to become somebody. That's what Krishna is telling. Don't become Mithyacharis. Become a genuine devotee of the Lord rather than becoming a Mithyacharis. In ISKCON, there are so many people, so many brahmacharis. They are good music artists, good painters. You have seen ISKCON paintings, very wonderful painting. They could have told, no, I will leave everything and go to the forest. They didn't tell. Rather, they use their skill in Krishna consciousness. That's what Krishna appreciates. Not to become a pretender like Mithyacharis. Use your talent. Use everything for Krishna rather than leaving everything. So Krishna tell. On the other hand, if one sincerely tries to control his senses by doing karma yoga, by doing action, he's trying to control his senses, then he is called a good person. Why? And how can we control our senses? And how can we control our senses? Anybody can give an answer what you feel. How can you control your senses? Or yeah, here control senses in active karma yoga. Akshata,
By
Mataji.
meditating or by surrendering ourselves to Lord Krishna.
Meditating on what?
Uh, m- Meditating or
Ah.
surrendering ourselves to Lord Krishna.
That's what today's society, it wants to meditate, but they don't know what to meditate on. But in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tell, man mana bhava mad bhakto. What does Krishna tell? Meditate on me. Okay. So when you're chanting Krishna's name, when you're hearing about Krishna, you're actually meditating on Krishna. So what you said in the second part, surrendering to Krishna, it starts from meditating on Krishna by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare. Start from mantra meditation and then go to his form and then, pastimes and everything. So meditating on Krishna. Yes, Madhusudan Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Also, I feel by practicing Ekadashi or fasting also,
Yeah.
you can control your senses.
Yes, it's actually karma yoga. You're doing in connection to Krishna. Yes, Tirtha Mataji. You can
By chanting.
by chanting. Yes, yeah, correct. Even Mataji, Akanksha Mataji also told the same thing. Akshata Mataji also told the same thing, I guess. Your name is Akshata. Yes, correct. So even she told the same thing. Meditating, chanting about Krishna or on Krishna is better because he is Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. When I ask that question on what you're meditating, then the question mark comes in everybody's mind because they don't know on what they have to meditate. Meditate on Krishna's form because his form is so transcendental, so sweet. Morning, it's better, when you wake up in your room, have a Krishna's beautiful picture, and not serial actors, a real, painting of Krishna or Bhagavad Gita picture you keep. And when you get up, just see the form of Lord. You will definitely feel freshened up. That's how spirituality is. Yes. So as you said, all this comes in karma yoga. What does yoga mean? Can anybody tell? Yoga. What does yoga mean? The term yoga. You can write in the chat. You can raise your hand. Unite. Unity. Very good. Okay. Control the mind. But the term yoga. Ishita Mataji. Akanksha Mataji. Akshata Mataji.
It is discipline.
Discipline. That's the shist or something like that we call. Yoga. Yoga means what? Ishita Mataji.
Sadhana.
Sadhana is practice. Yoga. Many of them, they gave in the chat box the answer. Yes, Shilpa Mataji, others, not exercise related, not. Exercises, vyayama. It's not yoga. We should not take yoga as vyayama and everything. We should not mess up. We should know actual the meaning. Yoga. What does Sanyoga mean? United, as Mataji told. Viyoga. We heard the word Viyoga. What is Viyoga? You're getting separate from one person. Viyog me, virah me, yog means you're separating. And Sanyog means you're coming closer. The yoga means the connection. Connection. And to whom we are connected? To the Lord, to Krishna. And karma yoga is through your activities you're connected to Krishna. Okay, so that's how the yoga actually is. Okay, so here when you are in karma yoga, you're not attached because Krishna is there. Krishna is the source of attachment to you, not your activities. So here, niyatam kuru karmatvam karmas jayo hi akarmakrit. Again, the word akarmakrit came here. And sharira yatrapi cha tena prasiddhi akarmanaha. Again, the word akarmana came. So you know the importance of the word akarmana now or akarma now. What is akarma? That is, you do your activities, but the reactions are not there. When it is there, reactions are not there. One meaning of akarmana is inaction. That means you're not doing any action. But then it's not the correct meaning. The correct meaning is you are doing the activity, but the reactions are not there on that. So perform your prescribed duty, for action is better than inaction. Karmatvam, Krishna says, better than akarma is karma. That means here Krishna is telling in the sense akarma is inaction. The second akarma he tells is about there's no what you tell there's no attachment to the results of that, or the reactions is taken away from you. Okay, so work done as a sacrifice for Lord Vishnu has to be performed, otherwise the work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties of satisfaction, and in that way you will always remain free from the bondage. So here you can understand in the 3.9 what Krishna tells is better you perform for Krishna. So next, what does he tell here? The devotee of the Lord are released from all kinds of sin. So we all are doing activities, we all eat food, right? But even in food, it is said that there is karma in the food. Even when we are eating some food, now vegetables also have life, no? So how to counteract that thing? Even vegetable have life. So the karma is coming to me. So how can we tell that there is no reaction to it? How can we do that? How can we diminish the karma in our eatings? Yes, it's related to karma yoga only. I am eating, so the karma is coming to me. So how to get out of that karma? Offer everything to Krishna. Yes, ISKCON prasadam. Remember, ever you want to ISKCON, you have eaten the prasadam there, right? The prasadam, offer it to the Lord. That's very good. Better you offer it to the Lord. That's what Krishna is trying to tell here. Krishna is telling offer. A devotee is released from all his karmic reactions. How is it? Because he eats the food which is already offered first for sacrifice. That means he gives it to Krishna and then he eats it. He prepares not for his sense enjoyment. He prepares for Krishna. When we prepare food, we think it's for me, right? But then when you here, logic is when you if there is a child, okay, or if there is a person who is subordinate to you and he acts like the owner or more than you, you think, why should I take a charge? You are actually caretaker of that person. There may be a child or a subordinate to you, you're lesser than you, you're caretaker to it. But then that person is neglecting you, or you're not taking he's not considering you anywhere. You tell, why am I even caretaking? You care yourself. I'm not going to care. Similarly, Krishna is always our caretaker. He gives us whatever we want. We never asked Krishna for sun or moon for light. Krishna already gave before our birth only. Sun was already there so that we can see properly. The moon was there. Krishna know that we will become thirsty, so he already gave the water to us in the river form. Rainfall, everything. He already arranged everything. But we are not caring for Krishna, then Krishna will think, why should I take your karmic reactions? You better eat your karmic reactions. But when a devotee sees the Lord and he gives first, whatever prepares, he gives to the Lord, Krishna will observe. The deities are not just stones. Krishna observes. And he sees that, okay, a person has kept food in front of me and put a tulsi leaf. Krishna loves tulsi, so you should try to offer. Krishna in 9th chapter he tells, what is it? Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayasiti, and whatever you give in bhakti to the Lord, he'll accept it. So you should try to give to the Lord with a tulsi plant, and always give sattvic food to the Lord. Not rajasic and no tamasic, no onion, garlic, no mamsam, andam and everything. Krishna only told patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam. That means a tulsi, always there, whenever you see Krishna, take one tulsi leaf and keep it in the lotus feet of Krishna. Krishna will be happy. In this way, your karmic reactions will go away. Krishna is assuring us here. So here, next Krishna tells that all of us are depending on the food, right? Is anybody in the class who tells that I'm not dependent on food, or I don't want food at all, I can live by myself? I know that nobody is like that in this class. Everybody wants the food for their uh, energy to sustain. So all living embodies are sustaining on the food grains, but food is prepared. The food is coming from what? Rain, right? If we have rain, then only we'll get grains, no? That's the logic. But then from where this rain is coming? Through yagnas. That means through the sacrifices. It's logically, if you think, it's from sacrifices itself, what we are doing, the homa, yagna and everything. But and yagnas are, where is that yagna written? How to do it? It's written in the Shastras. And when we do it according to our prescribed duty, according to the Shastras, then we will remember that these Shastras are given by Krishna. And when the grains are given to us, ultimately, when we get the grains, we offer it to Krishna. It's like a cycle. From Krishna, the Vedas are coming. In the Vedas, the yagna is written. In yagnas, after performing yagnas, you will get rain. And from rain, you will get grain. And when you cook the grain, again, you give it to Krishna back. So that's kind of a circle. That's how we should, the cycle of sacrifices. So here, regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas, and the Vedas are directly manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vedas are nothing but Krishna himself. So if you are learning, that's why I told, no, if you are learning Bhagavad Gita, then you have learned all the Vedas, because Krishna is saying, Vedeshcha sarver ahameva vedyo. In Bhagavad Gita, it tells in the further chapters that in all the Vedas are written by me. That means he is the one, Vyasdeva. Vyasdeva is Krishna himself. He itself written, he itself compiled all the Vedas. Then what is spoken in Vedas about Krishna? Vedanta. Krishna is Vedanta. That means all the Vedas will end in Krishna. So everything is about Krishna. So if you are learning Bhagavad Gita, then you need not learn all the other scriptures, because everything is coming in Bhagavad Gita. Because Krishna himself is speaking here. Whatever Krishna wanted to conclude through big Vedas, he has just concluded in the 700 verses. He just told us what we have to do. So my dear Arjuna, one has to does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice, the cycle from yagna and all of this cycle, the grains, rains and everything. If they are not following, then what happens? They are full of sin. Krishna tells, then you are eating sin. If you are not eating prasadam, then you are eating sin. But then start with a small step. We know, even we were eating sin only, all of us in this previous life, so many lives, we were all eating sin. But now we have come to the knowledge. What you do, big feast, you need not prepare. But you can take a glass of water. Water is available in everybody's home, no? You can take a glass of water, pluck one tulsi leaf, put it on the glass of water and give it to Krishna and pray to Krishna. You can tell Hare Krishna mantra, he's pleased. He tells Toyam. Toyam means water. If you give me water also, I'm pleased. But there should be tulsi on the top. So you can start from today, at least one glass of water you can give it to Krishna. He'll be very happy. And drink that water after offering to Krishna. You drink it by yourself. So this is what I was speaking about, cycle of sacrifice. From Vedas and from Krishna, Vedas have come. Vedas duties are prescribed, and when you're doing duties, you get some reactions, and those reactions are given in the sacrifice, like yagna, or you are donating to somebody, some big temple and everything. So from there, they are doing devotional service, and the pleased by the demigods, they give rain, and from rain there is grain. We all eat, but before eating, we offer it to Krishna. So, but then this yagna is not possible. You can see this big yagnas. So what is the best yagna in Kali Yuga? Can anybody tell? You can all do yagnas in your home. At present, if I tell tomorrow you can do yagna, can you all do that? You are right in the chat. Can you all do that yagna? Is it possible so easily to do any yagnas in home? No. Why? You need liters of ghee, you don't have. You want what you tell, wood to keep yagna, you won't get a timber like that. You want brahmanas who will tell, nowadays brahmanas are very rare, and even if you get, they don't pronounce the Sanskrit words so nicely. So you won't get a pandits to do any yagnas properly that they can please the Lord. Such kind of brahmanas are not there in Kali Yuga. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, Krishna comes in the form of devotee to show us how to become a devotee like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya, he's Krishna. He is Krishna himself who comes in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and with whom Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Sri Vasadi, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, everybody. What do? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's in the Katha Upanishads. It's given there. Iti shodashakam namam kalikalmasha nashanam nato parataro payos sarva vedeshu drishyate. All the Vedas ultimately conclude that the Harinam Sankirtan is the only way in Kali Yuga. The Yagnai Sankirtana Prayar Yajantihi Sumedasa. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam. Yagnai Sankirtana Prayar Yajantihi Sumedasa. All the intelligent people in the Kali Yuga will be awarded with Sankirtan Yagna. They will be attracted by Sankirtan Yagna. All the most intelligent people in Kali Yuga. So congratulate all yourself that you are all most intelligent people. Honestly, you those who hear Bhagavad Gita and do Hare Krishna Japa, they are actually intelligent. That's what Bhagavatam is quoting. Sumedasa, that means very, very intelligent people only chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That they accept the Sankirtan movement in Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is Mandamathayo. Kali Yuga is full of dull-headed people. But in those dull-headed people, Sumedas are those who chant Hare Krishna Mantra. So you should congratulate yourself for this. So before we chant Hare Krishna, we tell this sloka. You can take a screen snap or anything. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Then after invoking the Lord and his devotees, we start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And even in the 10th chapter, Krishna says, in the yagnas, I am Japa Yagna. That means the Japa Yagna is the most pleasing to Krishna. Yagnai Nam Japa Yagnosmi. In the yagnas, I am Japa Yagna. Krishna himself is telling this. Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activity, one should act in the duty. For working without attachment attains the supreme. Even the king like Janaka. Who is Janaka? Who is Janak Maharaj? Who is Janak? Where did you hear about Janaka? Ah, yes, Sita Mata's father, Mother Sita's father. So he was the king, yet he was living like a rishi or a saint. That's why he's called Raja Rishi. He's called as Raja Rishi. He's the king. But then, even though he had a kingdom and he had 3 wives, but he was not attached to anything. Rather, he was very saintly person. That's why Lord Rama chose him to be the father-in-law. No, that's why, because he was so saintly that he was not attached to the kingdom or anything. But he was doing his activities. In the same way, we should do our activities, but not be attached to the duty. What is your duty? Maybe you are the president of India, but you should not be attached to the duty that, oh, I'm president of India, I can do that, this. Next day, you can be the beggar in the street. We don't know what will happen to us. But if we are attached to that, then we are gone. Then nobody can save us, because even if you are a big person, if you are attached to what you are doing, then you are obviously attached to the results from it. Then you will be depressed. So-called depression, frustration comes from this attachment itself. Therefore, just for the sake of educating people, in general, you should perform your work. Now, Krishna is instructing Arjuna that at least for other people, you should work. Yadyadacharati shreshta tattad eveta rochana Yasayat Brahmata Kurute, Lokastad Anuvartate. If a great person is doing something, then obviously his followers will also do the same. So next, there is no work for the prescribed for me within all three planetary systems. Is it applicable for Krishna that he has to do the work? Is it applicable for Krishna also? Even Krishna has to do the work to show himself. Somebody's telling no, somebody's telling yes. Yes, but Krishna, is he bounded by the work? Krishna has to do the work. For what sake? Why Krishna has to do the work? Just now he told, Yadyadachariti Shrishta. If Krishna himself will follow, yes, to put them in the path, Krishna need not become a charioteer of Arjuna. Krishna need not become a Kshatriya. Krishna need not become a Brahmana. He can choose whatever he wants. Krishna became Brahmana when he went to Gurukul. He was learning so many shlokas and so many things. He was doing yagnas and everything. He was doing Brahmana's work. Then as a kingdom, Dwarakapati, he was doing Kshatriya's work, protecting the people. Even when he was going to kill Bhishma, he was in Kshatriya mood. Then Vaishya's mood, he was with Nanda Baba, Yashoda Maya. They were milk, they were making milk products and selling. He was acting like a Vaishya also. Then, like a charioteer, it's the Shudra's work. He did that also. But is he bound by those things? No. Krishna is never bound by those things, because Krishna just want to show us path. That's why Krishna is doing. Krishna is Lord himself. Why he has to work anywhere? He needs something. That's what Krishna is telling. There's no prescribed work for me, that Krishna has to become Brahmana or Krishna has to become a Kshatriya. There is no prescribed duty such as for Krishna, because he is Lord himself. Duty is for living entities. Duty is for us, because we are conditioned. Krishna is God. He does not have any duties. But he is doing so that I am engaged in work, so that others will follow what Krishna has done. If Krishna would not have accepted a guru, although Krishna is God himself, he is Jagat Guru, he need not get any guru, but still he accepted Sandipani Muni as guru, so that followers, Vaishnavas will also accept Guru. If Krishna and Rama would not have accepted a Guru, why should we accept? That question may come. So Krishna accepted a Guru. Not that he needs a knowledge. He is Lord himself. He is Vedeshta Sarver. That's the difference between us and Krishna. So put them in the work. That's why Varnashrama was created, not the caste system. It's depending on the qualities of the person. The division was made, not in the form of life, birth. If I'm a doctor, or son of a doctor or a daughter of a doctor, I need not be a doctor, no. Logically, the common sense tells those who have certificate according to their qualities, skills, and knowledge can become a doctor. According to what prescribed actions are needed to become a doctor, you can become a doctor. Whatever activities and skills are needed to become an engineer, if I pass those criteria, I'll get an engineer degree. If I pass the criteria of a management skilled person, then I can also crack a management exam and go through so many other exams. That's how certificates are made in today's era. Same thing was applied in ancient time. If your qualities, the qualities are explained by Krishna in the 17th and the 18th chapter. Krishna explains what are the qualities of Brahmana. Brahmana has more than 10 qualities. He has many qualities. If he has all these qualities, then he's considered as Brahmana. Even there are some incidents, right? Valmiki Rishi. Who is Valmiki? Who is Valmiki? Who had written Ramayana? No? Yeah. He was not born a Brahmana. To write Shastras, you need to know, you have to become that criteria has to pass. You should become a Brahmana. Rather, he was a prince, but then he was doing all this looting work and all of that. He was called Ratnakar before. He was almost a Shudra. He was a Shudra itself. He was acting like a Shudra. But then after realizing, after chanting the holy name of Ram, he increased his level to Brahmana, and more than Brahmana, he became Vaishnava. And that's how, in ancient times, it was not that if you taken birth from a Vaishya, you have to become a Vaishya. If you are taken birth from a Shudra family, you will become Shudra. Krishna never told. Rather, he told that if you are born in a family of Shudra, but if your qualities are like of a Brahmana, then you are obviously ready to become a Brahmana. That's how previous Gurukuls were arranged. We'll come to that in the later chapters. What are those things? So Krishna tells to engage living entities in the work. That's why the Varnashrama Dharma was made, so that they become engaged. Whatever comfortable work they are having, let them do that and let them give that reactions to Krishna, or the results of the actions to Krishna. So you can see this puppet show is happening. Actually, these are us, and these are the energies of Krishna. Krishna is above this. Krishna is above, but we can't see Krishna because clouds are covering us. Material attachments are covering us. Some people say, why I can't see Krishna? I want to see God. I'm not able to see God. That means there is no God. There are some people who give logic like this. But then, are you qualified to see the God? Are you qualified to see Him? It's the process. It's not 1 minute joke. Today I realized and tomorrow I should see the Lord. That's not 1 minute joke. It's a continuous process. You have neglected Krishna so many life, and now you are expecting Krishna to show up in 1 second. He won't. Because we have to go through so many processes, and the first process is chanting Hare Krishna. That we should do. So Arjuna says, even though I don't want to do sinful activities, there is something which is making me do sinful activities. What is that? Which is that force? Can anybody give the answers before Krishna gives? What is that thing which is forcing me to do all these activities, although I don't want to do? Attachment, Maya, lust, past karma, greed, okay, anger, okay, yes. All this is coming from one thing. Which is it? Anger is caused by what? Attachment. And attachment is from what? Lust. Lust, yesterday's chapter we discussed, right? From lust with the anger causes, and the greed is coming next, ignorance, envy, and everything is coming next. First is the lusty desires. Lusty desires. Because of our lust, we are covered. So Krishna tells, Kama esha krodayesha rajoguna samudbhava mahashano mahapapam viti enam ihe vairinam. Okay, so he tells that because we are doing sinful activities because of the lust only. Lust is the only one thing which is bounding us in this material world. Because we want to enjoy without Krishna, we are here. Because we want to enjoy. But we are enjoying in the wrong path. Because we want to enjoy in the wrong path, we are getting so much distractions. Why we want to enjoy? To satisfy our lust. And that's the main cause. So Krishna says it's achinam and balad. Arjuna tells, no, achinam and anicham and balad. I don't want to do, but still something is forcing me to do, and that is lust. Dhumena. So dhuma means what? Smoke. You have seen fire, very small fire, but then if you put water, just sprinkle water, what does it come? So much smoke, no? Everywhere smoke comes. More than fire, you can't see the fire actually. You'll just see the smoke. So exactly like that, our consciousness is covered by lust. So he tells like that. And here, darpana, that means this mirror. You have seen old 20, 30-year-old mirror. If you go to a bungalow, movies, you can see that booth bungalows, in that there will be mirror, and the actress comes and rubs this mirror and boom, the the ghost will come out. So here that's not the scene. Here the thing is Krishna is saying the dust which is covering the mirror. What happens? You can't see the reflection properly. So exactly the same thing. Why we are not identifying like a soul? Because lust is covering us. This material consciousness is covering us. Because of that, we are not able to identify as a soul. So then, like in the embryo is covered in the womb of a mother. It's so protected, no? So in the same way, our consciousness is covered by this lust. And because of this, we are not able to get out of it. And it has a degree of lust, if you are more into materialistic, if your asha or your desires are more, then the lust is more in you. And if your desires are in the levels of degree, Krishna says. Okay, so first, Harina, what does Hare Krishna Mahamantra do? Cheto, Dharpana, Marjana. Marjana means washing. Cheto means consciousness. Darpana means mirror. Like the mirror is covered by the dust, no? Krishna tells here. And Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it cleans the mirror of our heart. It cleans. Cheto, Darpana, Marjanam. It cleans our heart. So we should take Hare Krishna Mahamantra. As fire is covered by the smoke, already we discussed how we are covered with the material identification because of the lust, because we want to satisfy ourselves, and that causes the lust. And thus a man's pure consciousness is covered by the eternal enemy. So why is Krishna calling here eternal enemy? Because even after death, if you want another body, the same lust is making you desire for another body. Oh, cat is enjoying so much. I'll become cat next life. You get that choice, freedom of choice. Krishna gives us, as I said, Krishna will never force us. He gives us freedom. So when Krishna gives us freedom, we have a choice to make. Okay. So better to curb this sin from when it's very small itself, rather than it becomes a great sin. So, here it says about, okay, we'll see this. The same shloka, here it is, Indriyani Samyamya. First, there are levels of people. First is bodily platform. If you're just in bodily thing, I have to just drink, eat, life is one, enjoy, such kind of a thing, then we are in bodily platform. Then we come to sensual platforms where we use our senses for sense enjoyments. Then we come for mental platform. Now we are thinking, what is my choice, what is good, what is bad for me, and all of that. Then your intellectual thoughts are coming. Your intelligence is working. You're not behind the mind, but you're using your intelligence actually. Mind is like, I like that, I dislike that. But intelligence tell what is to be liked and what is not to be liked. So that's intelligent. And above that, beyond all of this, is spiritual quotient. That's the spiritual platform. When you really come to know that this intelligence, mind, senses, and all this are outer part, but actually we are spirit souls that only understood in the spiritual part. So so Krishna tells here in the previous shloka that working senses, that the indriya, are more are superior to the dull matters. That the body, above the body is the senses. Without senses we can't work actually. So above the dull body, it's actually the senses which are working. But who makes the sense work? That's the mind. And what about the mind? Mind can be controlled by your intelligence. And above all this is your soul. So it is said here. So you can see this. What is this? Can anyone tell what is this? What picture it is describing? Yeah, what are indriyas? The horses are indriyas. And what is this rope? Rope is considered as what? These are the panchendriyas. The horses are panchendriyas. But panchendriyas are controlled by the rope named mind. And mind is controlled by the intelligence. But When your intelligence itself is not working, what is right, what is wrong, you don't know, right? Yesterday somebody asked, what is my duty? You don't know, because the intelligence is blind, it is in sleeping posture. The soul which is using the chariot, it has to get up and wake this intelligence. No? When your driver is sleeping, midnight, sometimes we travel, driver is about to sleep, there will be an accident. So what do? You shake the driver and make him get up. No? In the same way, the soul has to be got up. Then only the work happens. So how the soul will get up? By chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, by spiritually awakening up. So this was the 5 sections we discussed in today's class. Okay, so I request you, all of you, to chant Hare Krishna daily, at least 1 or 8 times. That's the 1 round of Hare Krishna mantra. Okay, so we'll start from the class itself. Tomorrow itself, we can start chanting 1 round of Hare Krishna mantra, because it becomes then habit. If we chant together, then it becomes very good for us. Then it becomes a habit for us, and it will be very nice. Okay, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Any questions? Any questions anybody has, or any comments, any suggestions, or anything? If you have, you can please tell us in the chat box. You can raise your hand, unmute. We'll wait for 1 minute. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,